Do you ever find yourself in a selling situation where things just start to fall apart and you're not sure why? You know what? That happens to salespeople all day long. And the problem is that the salesperson did not have the right sales process. When you're not using the right sales process, problems come up, things start to fall apart. So in this video, I'm going to show you the absolute best sales process ever. Check it out. What we're going to be focusing on here all comes from the Sales Insights method, which is our proprietary sales process that we have developed from the best data on what is working in sales. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Number one, insight opens the door. So as you can see in the sales process, the first step is insight. And what insight really means is, are you demonstrating that you know what's going on in the prospect's world? Can you bring some value to the table to get them to lower their doors and ultimately start the conversation? Because what we see nowadays are two approaches, right? One is where the salesperson just goes in and starts pitching and selling their product or service, which is disastrous. The other is where salespeople go in and immediately start with the probing questions. And the prospect is like, whoa, 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 I don't know who you are. I have no idea. Why should I answer these questions? And so what insight does is solves both of these, because it allows us to really come into the conversation with real value, real insight. Because as a salesperson, you actually have one of the ultimate bird's eye views of what's going on in your prospects' lives, because you talk to so many people who are just like them in similar situations. So bringing that insight early on into the conversation, that's what gets the prospect to ultimately open up and start the conversation with you. Number two, disqualification makes more sales. So the next step in the Sales Insights method is disqualification. Now, chances are, if you've been in sales for a little while, you've probably been taught that you need to persuade or convince prospects to do business with you. Or maybe if you're a little savvier and you've been in this and you learned from some sales trainers, maybe they taught you that you actually want to qualify prospects. We take all of that and we throw it out the door. And what we say you actually want to be doing is be disqualifying prospects. And so this means using a doctor's mindset, once you've demonstrated insight, to engage them in a conversation, to ask a systematic set of questions to really determine whether they're a fit. And by the way, if they're not a fit, that's cool too. That's what disqualification is all about. It's not coming into the conversation trying to lead to a specific place, but instead really taking them through a process to determine, is this someone that I should be spending my time with? Because what we see is that top performing salespeople are spending the highest percentage of their time with qualified prospects. And the only way we're in front of qualified prospects is if we disqualify the people that are not a fit. That's the most important piece of this, is that being comfortable with the idea that, you know what, I'm not a fit for everyone and not everyone is a fit for us. Once we're there and we can follow that process, we start to free up our time and focus all of our energy on the right people, and they're going to see so much more value in what we do because of the process we've taken them through. Number three, solve their challenges. We started with demonstrating insight, and then we disqualify, and now once we've determined that someone's a fit, we want to solve. And so you'll notice that we don't say that you're going to present, but instead you want to be solving. And what solving really means is you want to demonstrate that you can provide the solution to the challenges that they have talked about. So it's not presenting features and benefits or really trying to take them into a benefits conversation, but instead connecting the dots between where they are and where they want to go and demonstrating that you can provide that bridge to help get them there. When you can solve their challenges and demonstrate that you can do it, that's when powerful things happen. So it's not some fancy, smooth talking pitch, but instead just a conversation demonstrating that you are the solution to the challenges that they've discussed that are important to them, that are important that they solve. Number four, be next step obsessed. So you'll notice that throughout this entire process, there are the little word next throughout. And one of the things that we see is that sales fall apart when next steps are not established. And so what we have found is that top performing reps are completely obsessed with establishing next steps at every stage of the sale. There are very few selling situations that are truly one call closes. They do exist, but for the most part, there are multiple steps to most sales. And that's okay. What we want to do is make sure that every time we're near the end of the conversation, we are establishing the next step. And so this is a place where we've got to be really strong and really firm because we are next step obsessed. That's what matters. You're not going to close this sale, you're going to establish that next step that is clear, that is in the calendar, and that is ready to go, so that way you're constantly holding the sale on track and things don't slip through the cracks. Number 5. Rinse, wash, repeat. So we've taken you through the process, and now what we want to be doing is constantly rinse, wash, repeat. That's the power of having a sales process in the first place, is that we know what we're going to be doing at every stage of the sale, and we do it over and over and over again. You know what? Sales is redundant. Good selling is doing the same thing over and over and over again. Obviously, there are different things that happen, and so it's fun and we can enjoy what we do, but following that process is what we need to do because it works. I find even myself that as soon as I start to let go of the process and start to just kind of wing it, things start to fall apart. Rinse, wash, repeat. So there is the absolute best sales process ever. If you enjoyed this video, then I have an amazing free training on the step-by-step formula to closing more deals. Just click right here to get registered instantly. Seriously, just click right here. This is an in-depth training that will help you close more deals at higher prices, all while generating more meetings. Also, if you got some value, please like this video below on YouTube and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking my face that should be right about here to get access to a new video just like this one each week.